everybody, this is Oksana Rudko and my brand of knitted accessories, La Accessory. In this video lesson we are going to make such a really special, stylish bag. I call it Solomia, and this bag has a very interesting detail, such as this wooden side with an ornament. It is Ukrainian ornament. There are several options for the ornament, 5 exactly, with 5 most popular kinds of wood. So you can choose the one that you like, and you can combine it with different colors of cord, leather and wood as you like. So the bag is really roomy, and you can wear it as a shoulder strap, as a crossbody with such furla chain, or the shoulder strap that you can attach. The width 22 centimeters, the height without the handle 19 to 20, with a handle about 27 centimeters. This bag has its peculiar special flap with a wooden handle. Because it is unique, you will never find it anywhere else. That's why you can buy this kit and use this flap, made especially for this bag. And again, remember that here we have 5 different types of wood and 5 different ornaments. So you can choose. The ornaments are really stylish and neat, and you can use it for day-to-day life. I'll show you everything stage by stage, how to create such a bag. I have made a special really thick pattern for this bag because it needs to keep the shape perfectly, and it allows us to use these sides and the flap. So we will also make a lining into this bag. I'll tell you how to make a lining into the wooden sides. Here we will make additional pieces to make the lining hold here, and also made a pocket. All this step by step we will learn how to create such a bag. So next set of materials, I will show you the materials which I'm going to use today, and we'll start. So for this bag I have chosen really a special set of materials because here we have a really original and unusual handle and a flap in such blue color with a small leather piece. Here we have a bag lock. The lower part of it can be sewn separately to the base, and the flap is double leather. It's really thick. Here it has openings for sewing it to the bag. It is made especially for these sides, and also pay your attention that the wood here can be in several colors which you can choose. Now the sides are made like this with the slightly darker wood in cool tone. The pattern is wonderful. It is the Ukrainian coat of arms, and the wooden pieces are just perfectly filed. Here we have a special leather loops. I'll show you how to install them and fix them in place so that they stay put. Then let's talk about the leather. You can choose such a double leather shoulder strap with a buckle to adjust the length, and the other option, you can choose the chain instead of the shoulder strap. In red bag I used this chain. As to the cord which we are going to use, this is 3mm polyester cord. It is flat without a filler. Color is coffee. Here, 2 skeins will do. We will use about 1.5 skein. So you need to buy 2 skeins of the cord. This cord is really soft and comfortable to work with, and the pattern which I have designed for this bag is made especially for flat cord. And also you will need some lining, which we are going to cut and sew into the bag. And here we will bear in mind that we have wooden sides. If you have never worked with wooden sides, for example, I have bag Manaka, and I'll tell you how to sew it in this case. By the way, here I have the linen plus viscose. I also like cotton, linen. Sometimes I use calico, although I didn't like it before. I also use satin from time to time, and some softer like poplin, staple, and so on. But now I prefer to use the ones that keep the shape better. But actually you can use any lining, any linen, or anything that's suitable, fabric suitable for lining. As an additional tool, you can use plastic canvas. Sometimes the openings are different, they can be different size. I have a small one as 2 millimeters, it can be 4 millimeters, so it doesn't matter which one you use. So this plastic canvas can be used for making the bottom thicker. Although our pattern is thick enough, I know that some of you prefer to make the bottom extra firm, so in this case you can use the plastic canvas. You need 6 to 20 centimeters, but we are going to measure our piece, and I'll tell you which size do we need so that it won't stand in your way when you sew it together and so on. Also, this piece of fabric can be this piece of plastic canvas, by the way, is not included into the kit. If you like, we can include it into the kit, and I will stop and explain how you measure. So you can just buy a piece of plastic or yourself and then use it into this bag. So, and now let's talk about the tools. So for this work we will need crocheting hooks. The main one is 4 millimeters. The additional one is 3.5 millimeters. And we are going to use small and big scissors for cutting the fabric, some screwdrivers. It can be a cross screwdriver or a flat screwdriver to work with the loops, and then measuring tape and a lightener. You will need it for burning the ends to stop it from fraying. Some thread in the matching color when you'll be sewing the lining, some glue. I have such a glue, it is a transparent glue, and I use it for gluing the screws so that they remain in place. You will need some sewing pins when we will be sewing the lining into the bag, and also several knitting markers and darning needles. At least one for sewing. It can be either metal or plastic, this or that, it doesn't matter actually which one. Both will do. So these are the main tools that we are going to use. So let's get started. We will start our work with preparing the sides. Now we will attach these loops and make a trimming for the sides, and then we will proceed to the base of the bag. I will show you an example of one loop, how we attach it. You have to undo this open it, yeah, like this. You have such two pieces. You have a loop and a metal half ring on it. Then you put it into the opening this way. Inside, this is the right side of your side of the back, yeah? So you insert it like this, so that this metal half ring is on the right side. On the wrong side, you will have this opening. So you need to insert this nail, longer one, from the right side, and on the wrong side you need to match it with the other piece here. So take a bit of glue, and you can add just a tiny bit of glue. Just have to do it really quickly so that it won't dry, like this. And then I fit it in, and then really quickly add the second piece. You can add it like this and then fix it properly with a screwdriver. So press it on the other side so that it is right in place. For me, it's easier to use a flat screwdriver in this case. Or better ask your husband. So here you see you have attached it. And likewise, we add the second one. When both loops are attached, now we can take our cord and take one of the sides, a crocheting hook. Here actually you can use 3.5 millimeters or 4 millimeters. I'm going to take 4 millimeters. The openings are quite big here to pierce it through. So first we will make trimming into these openings in the perimeter, and then the second row of the trimming. I'll show you everything step by step with zoom in. Even if you are a beginner, you'll be able to see everything step by step. So on the right side we insert the hook into the upper opening on the left. Leave a small free end, we will hide it later. So make a loop. This free end, by the way, you can cross it with the working thread so that you fix it better. And then you insert the hook into the next, grab the working thread and into this loop. The length of the loop should be enough to reach to the next opening, yeah, so the distance between the two openings plus a little bit of the opening, yeah, so that you can insert the hook into the next opening and make a stitch, so that you cover the opening, yeah. Don't make it neither too short nor too long, just enough so that it is not too tight. Insert it into the next, grab the working thread and make a stitch. And again. Insert, make a loop, through the loop on the hook at once. And so on. And again. Insert, make a loop, through the loop on the hook. And like this. We're going to work along the perimeter, making such decorative braid. We do this so that we can close the openings. One row will not be enough, and like this, with 2 rows, we'll be able to cover the holes and make it really nice. So like this, go on working. turn it as it is handy for you. At the corner, here everything is super easy. You just go on working in this direction, just making one more stitch here. If you are working on some wooden surface, I recommend you to put something soft, because you see this wooden part will be just banging all the time on the table, so that you do not spoil it. And so like this we go on. And then likewise on this side. Now the last opening, we make a stitch and make a short free end, but so it's enough so that you can hide it, and you cut it. And we need to hide it inside, so we need to pull it to the wrong side first, and then like this here, so that it's not too tight. We can pull it a little bit. These free ends will have to be hidden. Then now we do not have the fabric to hide it, so now we need to burn the ends to stop it from fraying, just like this, and then we will hide it later. At this we'll put them aside. So the second stage of the trimming is, also I will slightly melt it. And so we take again the side, turn it with the right side towards us, and starting with the upper opening, we go along the left side, insert the hook into this opening, and grab the working thread to the right side, and the free end we will leave here. Also cross it with a working thread like this here, so that we can fix it. Like this is our loop and this is the free end, and we cross it like this with the working thread, like this. Then the loop we adjust so that it is neither too long nor too short, and make a stitch. This is the first stitch, and into the same opening we will make the second, but here it is important to pierce it into these, so we will put it right into the middle of this stitch. Have a look on the wrong side where we can pierce it through, and make the second loop here. Grab the working thread and make two together. So that is a single crochet, and this is our first stitch of the second trimming row. We're going to alternate. In one opening we will make 2 single crochets, in the next opening we will make 1 single crochet, then like this again, 2 single crochets and 1 till the corner. At the corner it will be slightly different, so we make 2 single crochets, then in the next one we make a stitch, grab the working thread, pull it through, and work 2 together. That is a single crochet. You see, it is not overstretched, they are neither short nor long nor tighten it. Here I have a little opening. To avoid it, we need to pierce it right through this, not into the middle here, but right into this braid. And like this. Yeah, you see, now there is no hole at all. This cord is flat, so I recommend you to work with it so that it is not twisted. From time to time, untwist it. so that the pattern will look better in the future. In the next opening we make 2 single crochets. So we make 1 single crochet and then right into the same opening here we make 1 more single crochet, like this. So we alternate 1, then 2, then 1, then 2. In the next one, make 2. 1, and here 2. And 1. Like this. Make sure that here you have nice stitches that are of the same size, then it will look neat. And so like this we go on working till the corner, alternating 1 and 2 all the time. 1 and 2. And when you have reached the corner, now again have a look. We have alternated 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. So we have finished with 2. When you reach the corner, we need to make 3. So you do not, it doesn't mean how you have worked the previous one. You just make 3 single crochets into 1 opening. And into the same one, the second, and the third. The second one can be slightly longer because you want it to reach to the corner, and the third one here, 3. So like this, and then we make 1 and go on alternating 2, and then again 1 and 2, 1 and 2. At the corner again we make 3 into 1. And the last side, here we make 2 into 1, 1 and 2, and then we repeat, so that if it was 2 on the other side of the corner, so we make 2 on this side, and then we alternate 1 2 1 2 and so on, and we'll finish with 2 as well. So go on working, alternating 1 and 2 single crochets into 1. I have to make the last stitch. Let's do it together. So pierce the stitch carefully because we have a free end there, and make 1, and then we can work this free end in like this, put it onto the hook and make a stitch around it. So we have like this trimming, and then free end, got it, and we need to hide it into the wrong side. You can take a smaller hook and, for example, like this, pull it into the half loop next to it so that it is on the wrong side. Then here, make sure that it looks okay. And then we can hide it under these half loop. Later, these three ends are going to be sewn, but I don't do this at once. I'll wait. While we have finished the side, I suggest that you do this later. When you see and you are sure that you have done everything right, you're not going to redo anything. So then you will sew it when you see that it is final stage. So now we just need to melt them a little bit to stop them from fraying, and at this we will stop with the sides. So likewise do the trimming for the other side and put them aside, and we'll start working with the base. Now two sides are ready, the trimming is ready, and we can start making the base. So before we start working with the base, we need to train to make a sample with the pattern that we are going to use. And so at the sample we will be able to make our calculations. For this model, it is important to have the same gauge with the same size as I have, because we have the size of the sides here, so we are limited with the sides size of the sides and the size of the flap. About this later. Now let's talk about the pattern. So we need to cast on 13 chains. 11 are base and 2 for the lifting chains. So how do we start casting on? Show everything right from the beginning. So the short end of our working thread we put on top of the long one like this, and then have a look here. This working thread goes onto the index finger, and with this middle and thumb you hold this loop so that it is not coming out. Then you insert the hook like this. I'm using 4mm crocheting hook. Grab the working thread and pull it through like this. So like this we have created the first preparative knot. We do not count it, it is not a stitch yet, it is a preparative or 0 stitch. Now we cast on 11 plus 2, so 13 in total. For this, on the index finger we have our working thread, and with these two fingers we hold the knot here. And we insert the hook like this, grab the working thread and pull it through the loop. It is really easy when the end of the hook is turned down, then it is easier to grab the thread. 1, 2, and also I wanted to say that this loop shouldn't be too tight, because you'll need to make stitches into them later, so that it's easier for you to work. Don't make them too tight. This is a sample, so here you can try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 2 more as lifting chains, 12 and 13. And so we count the braids. We start counting them from this one. We don't count this knot, remember, we don't count it. Start counting with this one. 1, like these V shapes, yeah, as you see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This one on the hook, this loop is not counted as well. It's never counted as a stitch. And then we start making our pattern. The pattern is going to consist of 2 rows. So the repeat is 2 rows. The first row is a preparative and the second is the main row of the pattern. When working this pattern, we will need to make sure that cord is straight, that it's not twisted. So we make a yarn over, make sure that yarn is not twisted, skip 2, 1, 2, and then we insert the hook into the upper half loop of the third stitch. 1, 2, we skip, and the third we insert the hook here. 1, 2, 3 into the third, into the upper half loop, insert the hook, grab the working thread, and you have 3 loops on the hook now, and you pull the working thread through all 3. This loop is short, so this is a half double crochet. And again, we make a yarn over, find the next stitch, here it is, and into the upper half loop we make 1 more half double crochet. Insert the hook, grab the working thread like this. You have 3 loops on the hook, and we all work all 3 together. The second half double crochet is ready. Then again, the same yarn over, insert the hook into the upper half loop of the next braid, grab the working thread, 3 loops on the hook, work together. So 3 half double crochets are ready. Into the upper half loop, grab the working thread and make all 3 together. You see that cord lies flat, it's not twisted. It twists here. Just a little bit later I'll show you how to untwist it really easily. A yarn over, the next upper half loop, grab the working thread and work through all 3. And so like this we go on working till the end, working in every single half loop into the upper half loop here. And this loop which I make is slightly longer. You see this one? It is longer than the one on the hook, the first one on the hook, but I do not stretch the stitch so that I don't make an opening. And work all 3 together. And so like this we go on till the end of this row. Untwist the cord like this. In the next one, be attentive, do not skip the stitches. Especially if you are a beginner, count them, make sure. Or do not work 1, 2 times, nor skip the one. And then I'll tell you how to check. So we see 3 loops left, 3 stitches left. And so we count 1, 2, with a yarn over, and the last third. So we do not count the knot, we make this one as the last one here, make a stitch. So this is the first row. How to check the number of stitches that you have made? We check the horizontal braids, yeah, this one on top. We count this one: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we have 11 base stitches. We used 2 stitches as a lifting chains for the first stitch. So we have made 11 half double crochets. Now the first one goes a little bit down, but nevertheless it is the first stitch. So, and then we make a lifting chain. And now I'll show you how to untwist. If you see that your thread has twisted a lot, then you need to untwist it first. So all this that is twisted like this, you have to push it to the hook so that it is really twisted, and then you hold it like this. You can hold it in the air this way. I left the hook so that it won't come off, and just untwist it like this, and see, now the cord is flat again. Turn your work, and the second row of the pattern. We need to insert the hook. Pay attention that this is a lifting chain. This is a lifting chain, yeah? So we need to insert the hook not into these braids, yeah, we have a braid, and under them we also have a hop loops under these braids. So we need to insert the hook under the braid, yeah, if we take it this way, I'll show you a close-up. So this is the first braid, yeah, this one. Under it, this one we don't count because we already have this loop coming out of it. So this first braid, under it we have a half loop. Here it is. We insert the hook under it, under this half loop, which is under the braid. And we grab the working thread, pull it like this, make sure that it lies straight, flat on the hook, to the same length as this one. Grab the working thread and pull it through both loops on the hook. So the first is ready. Then we take the next one, insert the hook under the next half loop, which is under the next braid, under the next stitch here. Grab the working thread, make sure it is flat. We go down here into the corner, you see? Here we have an opening which is under this stitch. Into the corner, down. We go down with it, grab the working thread there, and pull it then up like this into the diagonal. So here we need to work tight, and so that the pattern will look fine. This is a sample. You need to train. The length of this stitch should cover all this thickness, yeah, but here you will feel whether you can make it slightly smaller, but you do not make it bigger. Grab the working thread and work all the 3 loops together. And this is the first element. It is ready. Then look for the next. That is braid. Then under the braid we have this half loop. We make 1 stitch into this half loop. Grab the working thread and straighten it, and then make a stitch. You see, yeah, we make 1 single crochet into the half loop under the braid, and then we need to make a long one. So we take the loop, insert the hook under this, grab the working thread, then go with this loop down without working it, and then, now I'll show you, here, yeah, we go right down under this one which we have just worked, here, like this. Or if you look along this line, so we make it in every other, yeah, we make these long stitches in every other opening, if it is easier for you to follow like this. Or you can make it right under the one that you have just made. And we go down. The most difficult is the first row, then it will be easier and easier. so we make a stitch, a long one, and we work all these 3 together. Second repeat is ready. Like this. And so the more you take your time and make neat stitches, the better it will look. The next stitch under this braid first, and then make a stitch. The next one we make right here. Grab this working thread, make a longer loop, but go down right under the one which we have just made, or in every other counting from that one. This, and then make a long stitch, and 3 on the hook work together. This pattern is really tight and it keeps the shape perfectly due to that. Then again we find the next braid and under it make a stitch. Yeah, and so first stitch is a single crochet and the second is a long stitch that goes down into the diagonal. Insert the hook likewise, grab the working thread and then go down under the stitch which we have just worked. Have a look again. Here we have this opening, it is right under, or in other words, we make this long loop in every other, yeah? In one we make, in one we don't make it. Grab the working thread, make a neat stitch, and 3 together. So now we have only 1, 2, 3 stitches left. The next stitch will be here. Grab the working thread, make a single crochet, and the next one we make a stitch under it and going down make a long diagonal stitch. Long diagonal stitch. And then again make working thread. This thread is twisting, so try to untwist it so that it is flat, because this will make your stitches neat. So then you will have the last stitch here, which you make as an ordinary single crochet. So you have to insert the hook here right into the corner under these 2 half loops. So here there is a stitch, and under it insert the hook into these 2 half loops. Hook comes out here close to the edge, very close to the edge. And so you grab this working thread, make a nice stitch, not short one, and long enough, and make the stitch. And so the first row of the pattern is ready. I'll call it 1 row of a pattern, but actually it's 2 rows. And then we start the next one. We make 2 lifting chains, 1 and 2, and turn our work. And then again we will make 1 row of half double crochets as we did before, and then a row of a pattern with long diagonal loops. In this pattern there is such a peculiarity that it goes into diagonal, and so that we prevent it, so that our piece is not diagonal, it's rectangular, we need to do a certain thing. So every second row, every even numbered row, will be worked the following way. We make a yarn over and insert the hook into this opening, but here we have a big hole. So perhaps you have it as well. You insert it here, but on this side you have such a half loop below it. So to avoid having a hole, you have to, now I'll take the hook away so that you can see, you have to insert the hook into the first stitch, but then into this little half loop on the right side and grab your working thread. Pull it here. Now you have 3 loops on the hook and you work the first half double crochet. And the second half double crochet you work likewise into the same opening. That is such a stitch so that the piece is rectangular, it's not going into a diagonal. So we're going to compensate this, tend to go to diagonal. On the other side we'll do differently. Again, into the same opening, insert this hook into the same one, and make one more stitch. Then we make a yarn over and we work half double crochets, 1 into each stitch. So just go on working half double crochets. I'll show this to you. I insert the hook into the next one, grab working thread, make a loop and work all 3 together. Half double crochets have to be quite tight as well. Yeah, so here you have to work tight to get a nice pattern. Make a yarn over, insert the hook into the next one, grab the working thread, have 3 loops on the hook, work all 3 together now, and again insert the hook into the next one and grab the working thread, make a stitch, and so on. And again, and again. So like this, you go on working till the end of the row, making a half double crochet in each stitch. So I will work this row together with you, and then you can continue working on your own. And so the last stitches here, we also work it as we have made 2 stitches at the beginning. Now we have 1 stitch more, so we have 12 instead of 11. Let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We need to have 11, right? So we make a lifting chain, turn our work, and to have 11 stitches we make the following. But before this I will untwist the cord because I see it has twisted. So as I go I always untwist. I don't show it on camera, but I always untwist the cord whenever I see it has twisted. Just to show you. Yeah, it's much easier to work when your cord is not twisted. Like this. First stitch here is going to be so that it is not going into diagonal, so we keep the right shape. At the same time we need to have 11 instead of 12, so the first 2 will work as 1. How do we do this? We insert the hook into the first one. First one is this braid, yeah, and a half loop under it. Like this. Grab the working thread And without finishing the stitch, we go now into the next one. So I haven't finished the stitch, you see, and I go into the next one and also grab the working thread. So now you have 3 loops on the hook and we work them together. Like this we have worked 2 stitches as one and we will have 11 stitches in the row. So now we need to repeat this. In this row we are going to have these long half loops, long stitches. They go into diagonal and they will be slightly even more slanted because we kind of shifted a little bit. At the pattern you will see that one row will be at one angle, the other will be at slightly different, and then it will repeat. And so, alternating these slightly different rows, we will be able to compensate and make the perfectly rectangular shape. So we are just compensating so that it doesn't go into diagonal. Because if you see it and you think that it is wrong, it's not wrong, it's just right. It is a peculiarity of this pattern. So we insert the hook into the third stitch. These 2 are stitched, yeah. We insert the hook into the third one and into its half loop. Grab the working thread and make a loop. Without finishing this loop, we go down. Pay attention where we go down here. This row we have already worked, so here we are going to work under the previous row, right into these stitches. So you see a long diagonal stitch and above it you see a V shape. See here. So we're going to insert it into these V shapes, but not the one under, yeah, not here, but one on the right. Here likewise, here is the long stitch, here's the one V shape on the right from it. And here you see these single stitches where we are going to insert the hook. So we insert the hook into this V-shaped stitch. Yeah, ready? Pierce it through. Check it on the other side. Here. If you have pierced it right, then you will see the hook gets into such space where it is surrounded with half loops on all the sides. And then you grab the working thread and make a stitch. This stitch I recommend you to tighten and to pull it to the right side so that it doesn't go to the left too much. It will just help you to create an even piece. And so work 3 together. Pay attention that in this row where we have made 2 stitches at the beginning and here we worked 2 together, you see the row looks quite different. Oh, a little bit different, I mean. When you make a stitch, you have such a space here, which may seem as a free stitch. So you may seem look like you need to insert the hook here, but it is a stitch that you have just worked. Just because it goes tighter, it goes to the right, but it is already the stitch that you have used. So don't make a mistake here, don't be confused. That's why you see this part of a stitch, but you don't make a stitch here and you go into the next one. If you look attentively, you'll see that this stitch was already worked. It's not an empty one. I tell this for the beginner, so just be careful and have a look where is this stitch which has already been worked. It's not a new one, it's not an empty one. So we find the next stitch that hasn't been worked yet and insert the hook, grab the working thread, and so we repeat the same. Insert the hook under the next 2 half loops, then we find the V-shaped stitch that is on the right from this long one. Check on the other side whether you have pierced it right, so that it is surrounded with a half loop sewed on the sides. Grab the working thread and make 3 stitches together. And then again, skip this one. Well, you don't skip it, I mean that don't make a stitch here. Yeah, make a stitch into the next one. Make an ordinary crochet. Then into the next one, again make a long one. Without finishing the stitch, go down here into this one. And check it, whether you have pierced it right. Grab the working thread. And I try to pull this loop to the right, like pull it, when I make a stitch, I pull it slightly to the right. And try to control the stitches to make them more or less the same size. Then don't make a stitch here, don't be confused, and insert it into the next. Right. Again, insert without finishing yet. No, we finished this. Yeah, we finished the stitch like this, but the next one we make a long one, so we alternate one short one, one long stitch. And so we go then into the lower opening that is not next to this long one but to the right from it. Like you see this one. And make this long diagonal stitch. So like this, we go on working till the end of the row. Then here we have 2 stitches. They look slightly different, but you need to find, if you look at these 2, then you need to find this half loop that is one before the last, and under it a half loop. So here you have to insert the hook like this between these 2 stitches. You have this half loop, and grab the working thread, make a stitch, and then into diagonal go into this V shape. Grab the working thread, make a long stitch and 3 together. And the last stitch here is going to be a long one, right? Next to this one there is no such half loop. There is a half loop, but you have to pierce this one as well. You can just insert it right here, or you can insert it here and also take some additional half loop, but just make sure it looks okay, it looks well. So here visual is main thing. So 2 rows, which of them consists of 2 rows, is ready. And like this, we need to make as many rows as you need to train, to teach yourself how to make this pattern. And you will be able to see which gauge you have. You need to work all the time with the same gauge. Make 5, 6 repeats of 2 rows, and then you'll see, when you see that you have already got used to it, you will be able to see that your gauge became the same and your stitches are already all the same height. And then we will take the measurements. I will make one more row, a third row perhaps, which is going to be worked as the first one, just an ordinary one. I'll show you. And then we will take the measurements that will help us to choose right size for the back. And we start making the third row. Make 2 lifting chains, and this is the row of half double crochets. So we make a yarn over, insert the hook into this. If you have such a big hole as I do, then you need to grab some more horizontal half loop just to fix it, because it is just too tight. You have to cover it somehow when you have such. Now I'm trying to find a place to find some additional half loop. Yeah, this one. Any which is next, which is the closest. This, and then 3 together, and so on. We go on working half double crochets till the end of this row. As you see, here we do not double the number, we just make 1. Only in the even numbered rows we will make 2 at the beginning and a decrease at the end. You can mark it or remember it that in even numbered rows we make 2 stitches at the beginning and then decrease. And like this we move on till the end of the row. Make half double crochets. Again, I want to remind you that one row of the pattern consists of 2 rows, which is a half double crochet row and then a patterned row. A yarn over and the last half double crochet. The last half double crochet is easy to find, the place for it here. To check, we can count the stitches. Yeah, count these braids. Here we will have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If you have 11 of them, then everything is right. And so I have already turned my work. Here we are going to make the pattern row. So the first, this one, insert the hook under this one, grab the working thread and make an ordinary single crochet into the next one. We insert it here. This is the V shape that is slightly different than in the previous one, because here it is slightly slanted. We had 2 stitches there, but nevertheless we make a stitch into it and we pierce it. Visually it might look slightly different, but then if you look at it, it is also between these half loops. And then we grab the working thread and pull it through all the stitches here. Now the next one, the next 2, just an ordinary single crochet and then a long stitch. Here into this one, make a long one into the diagonal. So everything is as in the previous rows, the same. And you remember here we do not make an increase and do not make a decrease. This we make only in the even numbered rows. Again, into this one we make a single crochet and into the next one, according to the pattern, long one. And so we alternate. From time to time, don't forget to untwist the cord. Again, an ordinary single crochet and then a long stitch and into this V shape. Again, we insert the hook into this one and make now this long and diagonal stitch, and 3 together. So now we need to make the last one. Here it's difficult to find a stitch, nevertheless make a single crochet, a lifting chain. So that was our sample. Here we already have 3 rows. Fourth row is an even numbered, and like in all even numbered, we are going to do the same. So we make 2 lifting chains, right? 2, turn our work, make a yarn over, and we'll make a stitch into this one here under the braid, and then one more, and into the same we make the second. Then we make half double crochets till the end of the row, and in this row we will have 12 half double crochet because we have made an increase at the beginning. So go on till the end of the row. So we have reached the end of the row, and we make the last one into the last stitch of the previous row, and we will get 12 stitches without counting this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's right. Don't forget to untwist the cord from time to time. And we start the pattern row. At the beginning of this row we will make 2 stitches into one so that we correct the shape of this piece. Insert the hook into the first one, grab the working thread and make 1 without finishing the stitch. We go right here, grab the working thread and make 3 together. Then we go on working the pattern. So under the braid, but without finishing, go down into diagonal into this half loop, which is on the right from the long stitch. Okay, and this stitch you can draw to the left side, only this one. So then the next stitch is made into the next. Here, remember, don't make it into the stitch which you have already worked. You make it into the next one, although this stitch is just pulled because it is tight. It's pulled towards the side, but it is already worked. So here we make this and a long diagonal one. Check yourself. So you just need some time to get used to the pattern, to train your hand to crochet this pattern. When you have already used to it, when you are already used to it, you won't find it difficult. And so like this, we go on working till the end of the row. We will have 11 stitches here. So like this, you go on working the number of rows you like for the sample to train, and in each even numbered row you add a stitch and then you make a decrease. And then we will take our measurements. So here the last one, and grab your working thread and make a stitch. So we get such a really cool pattern. So before you start making calculations, I want to talk about the accessories and why we need to get the piece of a certain size. So we have such a flap. It's 22 centimeters in width. So we need to make the piece so that the side is hidden under the flap. So it will be like this. The trimming gives several centimeters, but here it doesn't matter, especially here will be the other side sewn. So now we need add 5 millimeters. So 5 millimeters on this side and 5 millimeters for this side. That is 21 centimeter. And so for the knitted part, I leave 1 more centimeter. So the piece itself has to be 20 centimeters plus the trimming. Trimming will also add about 7 to 8, up to 1 centimeter. And so with this we will get 22. So in this case it is important to get the right size because we have the accessories and we have to fit into these accessories. So if your bag is bigger or smaller, you have to start again and make it the right side because you'll just have to anyway at the end. So now I will make the calculations, tell you how to calculate according to your gauge, and we will start making the bag. And again, we'll talk about the pattern, but a little bit quickly. We will just make the number of rows that we need for the base. So how to take your measurements with a sample? We put it flat like this and measure. Well, this is an approximate number, of course. It can be several millimeters plus or minus. So for 11 stitches and 2 lifting chains, we do not count lifting chains, yeah, so for 11 stitches, I have now 9.5 centimeters. I'll write it down. 9.5 centimeters stands for 11 stitches. So we need to get 20 centimeters. How many stitches do we need to get 20 centimeters? According to the rules of proportion, we multiply 9.5 multiplied by x is 11 multiplied by 20. So it is 220 divided by 9 and 5. So let's count it by 9 and 5. 23 stitches, with just a little bit more. So 23. We need to cast on 23 plus 2 lifting chains, of course. If you get 24, for example, then you need to cast on 24 plus 1. because we need to have an odd number of stitches of main. Yeah, so if you have 24, then you have to make it 23 anyway. You have to add 1 or you have to minus 1. So the number of stitches of the main stitches will be not divided by 2. Yeah, so half centimeter here can be more or less, so it can be 20.5, but not more. And so I will undo this sample and use this material to cast on 23 plus 2. You can have 25 or 27 or 21, yeah, just not an even number it. Because the thickness of the cord may be different. Even the same cord can be different. It depends on the color. It depends on the pigment that was used to color it. So you have to test it each time and find your own calculations. So I'll undo it and we start working actually the base of the bag. We start the base as before. You remember how to start 0 stitch is short and goes crisscrossed onto the long one. Hold it with your fingers here. On the index finger you have your working thread. This way. Insert the hook from below. I'm going to use number 4 4mm crochet hook. Grab the first loop and make this preparative knot. That is the first preparative knot. So now we cast on the number of stitches we need. I'm going to cast on 25, 23 plus 2 lifting chains. That is 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. If you are a beginner, then check, even if you're not a beginner, of course, you can check, count the stitches again, make sure you have the right number of stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25. This one on the hook we do not count. Skip first 2, this one, and insert the hook into the upper half loop of the third loop. Grab the working thread and make a stitch. Here I recommend you to work tight so that the pattern looks nice. Make a yarn over, find the next stitch here, grab the working thread and make a stitch. Yarn over the next one. So like this we go on working till the end of the row. If you have skipped something, then check number of stitches again. If you don't remember how to work this pattern, come back in the video and have a look when I was showing the sample. The first measurements we will take when we have 2 full rows to check whether our measurements are right. And then we'll be able to see whether we get the right size. Well, because calculation is more or less precise, but nevertheless 1 or 2 centimeters, maybe the difference, and in this bag we don't need this difference. We need to make it plus minus 5 millimeters, but the same size. So let's meet at the end of the row. Now at the end of the row we have the last stitch to make here into this upper half loop, into the upper half loop, and make a stitch, and then lifting chain. Yeah, by the way, after you have made the stitch, count. Before you have made lifting chain, count. You need to get 23 stitches. And remember that these first 2 lifting loops we do not count. Yeah, we start counting with a horizontal 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 23 stitches. That's right. So then you make a lifting chain, turn your work, and now we make the pattern row. Don't pay attention that now you do not have 20 centimeters. The 20 centimeters will be when we have made the pattern and made several rows. It will be stretched, so don't measure it now. Find the first stitch here, not this one, yeah. This one is already used, our loop comes out of it, so we do not make a stitch here, we make a stitch into the next one. And then there is such a half loop, so under all this braid and a half loop we insert the hook, grab the working thread, and make a stitch, a first stitch, a single crochet. Next ones, insert the hook, grab the working thread, and go down into diagonal, and this corner will be under the first stitch. Insert the hook, grab the working thread, and make a loop. If it starts twisting, I try to untwist it this way. And the first row is the most difficult, and then it is much easier. I just have to pay more attention. And all 3 loops on the hook. Then we make just a single crochet. Again, repeat. If it is difficult for you, you can return to the video when I was showing on the sample detailed how to make this pattern. And we find the next stitch, go down into diagonal, 2, 1, 1 step back, yeah, and under this one. Grab the working thread, pull it up, and work all 3 together. So next, and make a stitch, single crochet stitch. Then again, make a long one, first a loop here, but then go down and into diagonal. Here, grab your working thread and make a stitch like this. Here you can adjust it slightly. Again, 1 single crochet and then a long diagonal one, and down into diagonal, okay, thread and a single crochet. So control the length of the stitches so that they all are the same. And so like this we go on working till the end of the row, making first the single crochet and then a long diagonal one. According to the same principle, at the end we will make the last stitch together, then go to the next row and then you'll continue. So I have almost finished this row. Last 3 stitches are left here. The last one is always made as a single crochet and not as a long one, and one before the last is a single crochet and a long diagonal one. So let's find the next one and make a single crochet and then a single crochet and going down and into the diagonal, and then long one and all together. So, and the last stitch here is a single crochet, so find the last stitch, the last half loop, and so the first row is ready. Check, count the number of stitches, make sure you have 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, that's right. The loop on the hook is not counted. Then 2 lifting chains, turn our work, and the second row, you remember it is the even numbered row, is where we make 2 single crochets into one. Make a yarn over, insert the hook here, and find the first stitch and one more additional loop to avoid the hole here, for example, like this. 3 together, and yarn over and the second one into the same opening, and then we make half double crochets into each stitch till the end of the row. I'll show you a little bit on camera and then you can go on working on your own because you have already learned this pattern. So make a short stitch and then a long stitch. A yarn over, insert into the next, make a stitch. And so like this with half double crochets we go on working till the end of the row. And here at the end of the second row half double crochets we make the last stitch, check the number of stitches. Here you will have one more than you cast on. If you cast on 23, then now you have 24, one stitch more, because we've made an increase here. And we will decrease it in the next row so that again we have 23. Make a lifting chain and turn your work, and the first and the second we make into together with one top, like a decrease. Through the hook make one stitch, but do not finish it. Now you make the second stitch and make one top for 2 stitches. So we kind of work 2 together. That is our decrease. And then we find the next ones. And now we start working the pattern. We go down into the diagonal here, into this single V shape, and grab the working thread and make a stitch, and then again we make one stitch, single crochet, the second is a long stitch. The next 2 stitches is single crochet. Also remember that you don't work this one. It may seem like a next stitch, but it is the previous one which we have already worked, so we don't need to make a stitch into it. And then a long one, and without finishing, and go into diagonal into the single V shape. Grab the working thread and work all 3 together. I want to remind you that these pieces are slightly shifted to the right if we compare them with a previous one. Again, it is okay. It is because we have shifted at the even numbered row, so they will be alternating. This tilt and that tilt, slightly different tilt, but it is okay. They are going to alternate all the time. So each repeat of the pattern, we go on working all the same, and so like this we move till the end of the row. Also remember that when you make in even numbered rows, when you make this long stitch, you can slightly pull it so that it doesn't go so much to the left. You slightly pull it to the right side to make it not so tilted to the left, but just make it look neater. So like this, go on working till the end of the row, alternating single crochet and long diagonal stitches, and then we will take our measurements. So now I have the last one to make, that is a single crochet, and 2 rows are ready. So let's measure the piece that we have. So I get 19 centimeters. 19 centimeters, but it's a little bit not enough, so I think I will have to add several stitches. If I add, let's say, if I add 2 stitches, I mean, how much will be? I'll measure 1 repeat. How is it? 1 centimeter? Yeah, exactly, it is 1 centimeter. So if I add 2 stitches, it will be exactly 20 centimeters. So in my case, I will have to cast on 25 plus 2 lifting chains. So in total it will be 27. And you have to measure your gauge, your piece. If you have 20 centimeters, then it is okay. If not, you need to add several stitches. So because in this model it is absolutely important to have the right size for your flap, for the flap and the sides that you have in a kit. Now I will have to work these 2 rows again, and then we'll continue working. And then you can go on working on your own. So I have cast on 25 plus 2, and I have crocheted the first 2 repeats of the pattern. So now I get exactly 20 centimeters and even 4 millimeters, 3 to 4 millimeters. That is okay. Okay, so we can continue. I have already made 2 lifting chains, and again we repeat these 2 rows all the time. We make a yarn over in the 3rd row we start with one stitch. Just here we make half double crochets, insert the hook into this braid. If you have this hole here, then you need one more half loop to grab it and to work a stitch together. If it is difficult to do this with a crochet hook, you can take a smaller one. So grab one more half loop, make the first half double crochet, a yarn over into the next stitch, make under the braids, ready, a yarn over the next stitch, and so on. Here I recommend to work tightly. All these half double crochets are worked tightly. This upper loop is especially tight, so that the pattern looks neat and it is thick. And so go on working till the end of the row. Then I'll show you how we go to the next, as always actually. And don't forget to untwist the cord. So the last stitch here, the lifting chain, and we go on working the pattern. Find the first stitch and make first stitch. Remember that each uneven numbered, each odd numbered row, we do not make two at the beginning. Now we make a long diagonal stitch. First a loop, then go down into diagonal, insert the hook into this single V shape. It is on the right from the long loop. This first one is slightly different because here we had two stitches joined together, but you can still see it. You just pierce it here and grab the working thread and make a stitch. Also control the length of stitches so that it is the same in all the stitches, not too different, let's say. It should be more or less the same. And so you continue working according to the pattern. One single crochet, then a long diagonal stitch into the V-shaped half loop. I think you have already learned how to work this pattern. So we'll go on stitching till the end of this row, and then I'll tell you what we do next. Last stitch of the third row. And so pay attention to the fact that as you work, it might happen that it starts going narrower and narrower. It means that you start working tighter. So you need to keep the gauge the same. You can't make it tighter or looser. It's better to remake a row if you see that something went wrong. And from time to time, check the number of stitches, and you can measure it in centimeters. So our base is going to be made of 2 halves. Because let's take the side, one part of it will be attached on one side, the other on the other side. So that the pattern is likewise, we need to make one piece, then here we will join it with another one, and they will be joined then here on the bottom. Now, as to the length of these pieces, they will be 18 to 18.5 centimeters, because here I measure it like this from the trimming, from the first opening on the side, along the side, till this 14, right? Then here it's also 14, and then we need to add half of the bottom. If the bottom is 8 centimeters here, 14 plus 14, 28 plus 8, that is 36 centimeters. So 36 we divide by 2, it will be 18 centimeters. So here one and the other front and back parts will be 18.5 centimeters. It will also have a trimming, so it will add a little bit. If you make it shorter, it's worse than you make it longer, but 18 and 18.5 will be perfect for this model. That's why now we make one piece which will be 18 centimeters, and we cut the thread and make the second piece. When you have made the second piece, we will sew them together, and then we will make the trimming, and then it will be ready for sewing it into the sides. If you are going to add some plastic canvas to the bottom, I'll tell you how to measure it, how to sew it to the bottom, and so on. So if you need, you can enhance the bottom. Now make 2 pieces for the base, and we will go on. I finished the first part for the base. Now I'll tell you about it. According to the pattern. Don't forget about the last one. And when you have made this piece, we will cut the strand. But before this, please check that you have made the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have 11 repeats of 2 rows. Yeah, if we count like this stripes, if we count the long stitches. Our repeat consists of 2 rows. One was the row half double crochet, and the second is a pattern row with long stitches. So I'm counting like 2 as 1 now. Now, as to the size, first of all, it should be same on right and left sides. Of course, it might be slightly different, maybe millimeters more or less. You can stretch it a little bit, and you can make a wet heat for it. Following this, I get 20.5 centimeters. 20 centimeters, 20.5 is okay. But not more than 20.5. If it is 21, then the sides will be visible and the flap won't close, so it will not be right. So please try to make it 20 centimeters exactly. And let's measure the height. Height here is 18.5 centimeters. 18.5. Also here will be a small trimming, it will be just several millimeters along this line. It will be just a little, bigger one will be on the sides. So your piece should be 18 to 18.5 centimeters. And also, as I usually do and recommend you to do this, you can put it right next to the side here where the trimming starts, and then mark where it reaches here. So like this you can try it on. It should go till the middle of the side. Here, if you make it slightly upper, it's also okay, slightly higher I mean, because while you are sewing you can correct, yeah, but you have to make this end exactly in the middle for the bottom here, so that it meets exactly here, exactly in the middle. Here you can adjust it a little bit, but just a little bit. like 1 centimeter plus minus here or there, we can adjust it and it won't be visible on the side. But again, I recommend you to make size as precise as you can. If everything is okay and you are sure that you're not going to redo it, then you can cut the thread. So you have pulled this loop, cut the thread. You don't make a lifting chain here because it is the last. And hide this. You can take a smaller crocheting hook and then to the wrong side. I prefer to go first into this half loop to make it like a neat corner here. Then we hide it into this knitted base. And then we will also sew it. So the more seamless you hide it, the better it is. But do not tighten it too much, you don't need tightened knots. As how to sew it, I recommend you to sew when you made sure that everything is okay, you're not going to change anything, then you can sew it and it will be for good. So for the time being, we can just hide them, maybe melt it with lighter so that it won't fray till the moment when we sew it. On the side, likewise, I first hide it. If you make a knot exactly as I do, then you can carefully undo it. Yeah, but only if you have made it like I did, and then hide these behind several stitches. If you make the first knot different, then do not do this, because otherwise it might come off. So only if you have started as I did. Now that's it, one piece is ready. Like this, you need to make one more piece. 3 ends are hidden, we have only to sew them. Make one more exactly the same like this. And then I'll show you how to sew these together and sew it to the side. So let's go.